Hey folks, welcome to the Mopar Stage and the cast of Graveyard Cars. Who wants to talk? Hey!
What's in here?
What are you doing, Mark?
Put it up next to your mouth, man. They can't hear you. They don't read lips. Lissa, Dave, you got your mic?
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello?
It's right here. It's right there.
Ron?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
We're good. We're live. We're
Hey,
live.
Hey,
Okay. Thank you, everybody,
I'm
for showing up. I'm not very good at this.
I'm the MC. You gotta wait.
We're from
Hey,
Springfield,
Mark.
Oregon.
Who are you?
I'm Mark Warman from Graveyard Cars, Springfield, Oregon.
I think I turned my mic on.
And who's with you, Mark?
To my right is the fruit of my loin, Alyssa Marie
Just Alyssa.
Rose, the second best Mopar painter on the planet.
No, still number
Mr.
one.
William Scott.
Still number one.
Not as long as I got a pulse, buddy. Not as long as I'm breathing. On the other side of him is number one. We call him number one. That's Mr.
Number
Dave.
one.
Assemblyman Dave. He's the guy that made our Plymouth Superbird show up on time.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right.
Barely.
We forgot Ron on the end.
I can't see. Ron! When did you show up? Ron Jenkins from Magnum Force,
I
folks.
joined the party. How's that?
Ron is the guy that supplied us with all the suspension for our Superbird and Chris Jacobs 68 GTX and our 71 CUDA from last year.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Thank you, Ron.
Thanks
You're
again,
very
Ron.
welcome.
He also almost lost a finger at the shop on a Saturday while I was at lunch.
Yeah,
So
that was rough.
didn't want to come back early.
And we have our technical expertise, the one who helped get all the parts to build these cars, Ed. Hey, Ed.
Have no illusions. If Ed was not part of the formula, we would not have our Superbird here.
Yeah, no
Every
doubt.
single day, it was an email with a, oh, I can't believe I need this. I can't believe I need that. Every single day, because this is all new stuff to us too, especially when you're talking about the Hell Crate and the things that go in that Hell Crate that make it what it is. Pretty complex. So thanks, Ed. Thank you. Yeah. You don't want the old parts back, do you? The extra parts. Oh, look at that.
Wow, okay. And I'm Bill, by the way. That's me over here. Hi.
Bill's
Hi, everybody.
the man. Hey, Bill.
Welcome to Mopar. Welcome to SEMA. Thanks for coming.
Does that profile
The
make my
cast
nose
of
look good?
Graveyard Cars. We're going to ask them a few questions. We actually got some questions from social. We have some of our own questions that would include all of you. And then when we're done, we're going to invite you guys to come up and get some autographs from the cast. Sound good? Yes.
Are we going to drink beers too?
That was
Come on now.
yesterday. Yeah, that was yesterday.
Okay.
You ready?
Fire away.
So I'm going to start off with the.
Crazy.
We're going to start off with my question. My question is, as you guys walk around SEMA, you see some amazing builds. We have some amazing build here, but we have some personalities that are here being paid to represent their brands.
You're talking about on-screen talent for other shows and stuff like that?
Yeah. So with that said, I'm just curious, what's your fee?
They get paid? Okay, I did not know that.
So if that's your fee, and why would you be doing this, and what are we paying you?
Well, I thought I was doing it because I love the brand. Getting paid, huh?
That's elsewhere.
I have to have a little chat with Richard Rollins later today, maybe.
Have you met Pietro? He keeps cutting my budget,
I love
so
Pietro.
that's why we
Pietro.
have to pay you what we pay you.
We don't get paid anything. We didn't want anything for it. When they reached out to us last year, I was humbled by the phone call because I'm just a kid from Springfield, Oregon that loves Mopars and always has. Put together a little show that's kind of fun to watch, and we're working on some great cars. So the opportunity to be able to continue keeping these cars on the roads for the next generations, that's what this has done. That's what the Mopar crate and the controller has allowed us to do. That's right. Prior to that, if you wanted a Superbird, your choices were, well, buy a real one for $250,000 or buy a tribute one with maybe a 440 or a 446 barrel or a Hemi in it. And those were the options from the factory. Now you could call us up and say, listen, I want that Hellcat and that Superbird. We could put an order form together and we could build that car from what's available today. So that's pretty cool. So no, I don't get paid for this.
Yeah.
Yet.
No, yeah, yet. No, and if you happen to see our press release, it was really cool. We had the opportunity to go to the shop and spend some time with you guys. That was really nice. And Pietro was there, and you guys kid around with each other. But it was
President of Mopar came out to our shop, so
he was there, and he gave him the Brand Advocate Award yesterday, which I think you were going to cry. Well, you teared up.
He was.
You know what? I've been sick for a week, and whatever. Hey, that was pretty cool. Yeah, I rushed back to my motel room and immediately sent a picture to my mother and my sister and everybody back in Springfield. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that thing. I
had no idea.
Our design studios here, some of those folks put that together for us.
It was really neat. Yeah.
We didn't go to a trophy shop.
First one ever given out, I guess. So.
Second.
You got the first?
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. All right, Ed, what do you got?
Did you get one?
So for the guys, and when we called Mark and pitched this idea, we said, hey, this year we're thinking about doing a Hellcat.
That's true.
And then I said, everything I'm sending you is prototype.
That's true, too, including the instruction manual.
Which we sent you the final one the week before, right?
Yeah, what
I don't think it was final. It was missing some pages.
That's right, it was still rough.
Dave, would you care to elaborate on that?
4 days into the build.
Sidebar.
That's the instruction manual.
We asked about all the
We're
prototype
just talking
parts.
about the
We're talking about the instruction manual.
Yeah,
prototype.
what instruction manual? Sorry.
Yeah.
It was all this stuff to get to SEMA on time was really last minute stuff. The parts were prototype, the instruction manual prototype. I mean, it was, and that's not to brag. I mean, we did it, but we worked together as a team to get it done, and that's at the end of the day, that's what Graveyard Cars is. That's what, and all of you Mopar lovers, it's the same thing. The brotherhood in Mopar is amazing. I can tell you that because we have thousands, millions of followers on Facebook. Many of them are diehard Mopar fans. I have Twitter and the Instagram. And it's amazing because anytime you put something out like that car, it all lights up and goes crazy. Folks, turn that off. But on a personal level, like my mom just had a hip surgery a couple of weeks ago. She broke her hip, and I was pretty frazzled because she's 82. I put a prayer request out on our Facebook and our Twitter, and I mean, they just lit up with support. That's the brotherhood of Mopar, and I don't know what to say except it's pretty cool to be part of that.
So, direct question. Last year you built a car. It seemed like plug and play. They just click and go. This year you built a car. Dave, last year or this year, what do you think? Last year was
Stress level, you mean?
Was it stress level? Was it a...
Stress level was super crazy this year. I think we had 3 weeks from the time. That was actually a car that was almost done. And we had to disassemble the Superbird and then convert it over and do a Hell Crate in it. So that was complicated in itself, and like you said, prototype and everything. When you get a rough draft of an actual manual and it has question marks in it, that makes you a little nervous. But calling these guys and talking to them and figuring out how to do it, the plug-and-play system with Mopar's crate engines is amazing. I mean, they got it set up really nice, and I was just talking to some of their guys about some of the things that I'd like to see different on it. But as far as plugging that, PCM in, the power control module, and everything in there, especially with that Hell Crate, with that fuel modulating system, was just unique and amazing. It was very doable, and I know just a novice style mechanic could handle it, but yeah, other than that, plug and play, it was amazing.
I think everything plugged together just as easily as it did last year.
Yeah.
It actually went really good.
That was the easiest part of the build, was making the connections.
It really was. It really was. I think Mark and I snapped everything together last year in a matter of an hour or something like that. It was really effortless. But what I thought was really cool was Dave's interaction with Mopar and how willing they were to make some of the modifications that needed to be made. We were talking about starter locations left and right and things like that, and they were you guys were all stepping up saying, hey, we want to hear we want to hear it. We want to hear it. How can we make this better?
Well, speaking of the Hellcat and the uniqueness of the fuel system, Alyssa, I have a question for you.
No.
Do you know what the on-demand at any time fuel pressure would be for the Hellcat engine? It's a little different than the 392. Well, I'm just well, you read the manual. Will?
Yeah.
Fuel pressure on that on the Hellcat? Yeah.
Yeah, it's 80.
Oh, it's 80 on it. They dropped that. You guys dropped it? Dave?
Yes, sir.
Maximum fuel pressure under full throttle with the Hellcat?
You didn't say that.
80.
And that was Dave's technical.
Ed, what do you think?
For bonus points, how many liters per hour?
Oh, no idea.
I thought it was 84. I'm sorry.
And the
I
answer-
apologize. I'm an
300 liters
idiot.
per
That
hour.
backfired.
Yes, it goes from 34 at idle to 80.
Yeah, it does. It's variable on the Hellcat. Yeah, from about 34 up to 80 pounds.
Bingo, you got
Yeah,
it.
it sends a signal from the accelerator pedal back to the fuel pump, which is really cool. As you push the accelerator down, that fuel pressure module actually sends a signal down there, speeds up, sends more pressure.
I want you to walk around.
She wants me to walk?
Yeah, what kind of MC are you?
Hey, okay. Hey, Mark, question for you.
Yes.
So, on your show, I see a lot of cars coming and going. How many builds do you do a year?
Well, it varies. Right now, we're probably at our highest volume. Last year, I think we got 9 completed
9 or 10.
in
10.
a year. 10. Oh, I apologize, folks. It turns out it was 10. Thank you, Will. Chime in anytime.
So, if Will's chiming in, I have a question for Will.
Oh, absolutely.
Because watching the show, it amazes me. I see you in the booth. You did a little interview, and it said it takes you anywhere from a half day to 2.5 days to paint a car,
Yeah.
right? So if you do 10 cars, half day, or 2.5 days, what do you do the rest of the year?
Yeah, Mark? Well,
Will?
there's more
Mark's
to it
got
than
an
just
answer
going in
to that
there
one.
and spraying them. Getting them ready. We have 4 guys that work out there that need some assistance from time to time. I'm sorry, Mark?
Oh, nothing.
Oh, your
I'm
next
just
door neighbor.
remembering reality. Go on.
Oh, what's reality? You tell me reality then.
Well, I don't know. I mean, he brings up a good point. That means you would have exactly 11 months left.
I think
Shoot.
I think there's a blender and margarita mix involved. Actually.
There is, in fairness to young Will, there's a lot of
I'm-
preparation. Even if you're the second best, there's a lot of preparation that goes into this stuff. All right?
The best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm the only one in the paint shop. I'm it. So,
Well, you're training me.
yeah.
Oh, Alyssa's helping a little bit this year, yes. Give it up. Alyssa doing a little help in the paint shop, mechanics room, yes. My seed.
No.
No.
She
Yeah.
does a good job.
We have an Alyssa question. That's right.
Well, you can start with Mark's question.
So we're going to go to the Facebooks.
Set me up. It's a setup.
Got a question from Ryan Hall on Facebook. Watch him dance. He should not give up his day job. LOL. More of a
LOL,
statement
that's
than a
not a
question.
question, it's a
damn.
statement.
That is a statement.
And secondly, I happen to have
I
some
think
brand
we
new
could all
moves
agree
I'm
with
coming
that,
up
though.
with this
We'd
year.
all appreciate it
Hey,
if you stop dancing.
Can we get music going?
I know.
Can we?
I've been under the weather, folks. I had a whole routine I was going to do for you. Unfortunately, a little under the weather. We'll see what we do here towards the end. I see a lot of people anxious to see it.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have a chance to
Alyssa,
see
you
this
want
yet.
to start it off? Do a little dance? Let's go move. Sorry.
All right, I'll read it out. From Pat Hogan on Twitter. I have tickets for SEMA, but haven't decided if I'm going to take the time to go. Is Alyssa going? That may help with my decision.
Aww.
Well, yes. Here I am.
The answer is yes.
Survey says, yes, I am here.
You're here so I can see you.
Alyssa has stalkers all over the place, man.
Yeah.
I'm on my guard. That's why I got my 426 Hemi pewter ring on. Be knocking people out. Put that impression in the forehead. Right?
Yeah.
Fruit.
Ooh, okay.
Hemi ring.
Steve Rimkamp asked, have you announced the new season yet?
The 15th.
What happened?
Thank God.
Question.
November
I don't.
15th.
November the 15th.
Yes, they have announced the new season. November 15th, Wednesdays, Graveyard Cars is back for season 8. You can believe that. And we've really got some great stuff, folks. Really fun. Our General Lee got
General
finished
Lee.
and delivered.
Yeah, it's
Why are
gonna
you
be awesome.
spiking the microphone? General Lee got finished. What other cars did we get done, Dave? Yeah, do your selfie.
I get the crowd out there posting on my
Oh,
Instagram.
the victim's car got done this year. Darren Kirkpatrick.
Mark.
Does anybody remember Darren?
Mark.
What happened?
The purple Challenger got done.
I apologize. The purple 1970 Dodge Challenger 444 speed 354 Dana FC7, or a parts car, we like to refer to it from seasons 1 through 3, got finished and sent to its new owner back in Connecticut, I believe. Beautiful car, really. They only made 916 of those cars, and while I gave Durwood a lot of crap for it back in the day being a parts car, I actually bought that car in 1988 out of a little town called Philomath, Oregon for $2,200. Brought it back to my little shop, Welby's, over on Olympic Street, got it running and flipped it for $4,500. Thought I made a killing back then. And then the guy that bought it sat on it for about 7 years when Darren came across it and bought it. And then Darren just decided never to restore the car in 22 years. So anyway, the car is done. You'll be pleased to watch this season. It's a beautiful car, a beautiful build.
It's a really pretty
and
car.
you won't see another one with that combination. FC7, white longitudinal stripe, black top, black leather interior, 6-way seat, rim blow. Really neat car. Okay.
All right, we got a question from Larry Bozier. And I hate to ask the question, but last year we had another green car build of yours. I think it was Sassy Grass Green.
That's true.
It says
FJ6.
Did you ever find the car, the missing SEMA build?
Oh, there it is.
Inquiring minds want to know.
knew that one.
Thanks, Bill.
Yeah.
Okay. We do know where the car is. I'll give you a real short narrative on what happened without details or implications. After we had the car built last year for the show, it went back to our shop, and we used it to show at a couple of different auto shows that we went to. I had an employee that worked for me for about worked for me for 2 years. We were friends for about 25 years. He was our transport guy. We decided, we had a show up in Canada we had to go to, and it was last minute. This gentleman's been with me forever, trusted him wholeheartedly, no reason not to. We needed to get the car licensed, so I sent him to the DMV, put the title in his name. I had been dragging the shell around for about 25 years, so I had an old title in the drawer. Sent him down, had him get it in his name, because he was going to be driving the tow truck with the car on the back of it up to Canada. Well, I had no way of knowing. After the show, we got back. About 6 weeks later, I guess the title showed up at his house, and he decided to come down and take the car that night and quit. So, we were all pretty shocked. Dave, is that fair to say? Pretty heartbroken. Took a while for it to settle in that it even happened. And unfortunately, because the title was in his name, it went from a criminal matter where Springfield police came out and said, well, it is in his name. And I said, yeah, but here's why. Here's all the paperwork to show it. And it became a civil matter at that point. And that's why we couldn't just get the sheriff to go grab the damn thing and bring it back. We do have court orders to get the car back. But in the meantime, he sold the car. It is in Denver, Colorado right now. And we are working hard on trying to jump through the legal steps to get our car back. So if we get it back, we hope we do, we plan on bringing it back next year so everybody can say hi. There you go. Okay. I guess I get to ask Ed a question.
You've been promoting.
You and Royal hang out a lot together?
Same barber.
Okay, will we be seeing an emission-capable version of the Hellcrate engine for Mopars made between 1976 and 2017?
Well, being that we are the OEM and we're not allowed to discuss future products, let me flip it and ask you, is there a Mopar after 76 that you would ever do a restoration on that would require an emissions-compliant kit?
I suppose I would say it wouldn't be my first choice, but probably. There were some cars that were built that people have a following and affection for. The later model Chargers and Magnums, the Roadrunner, which really wasn't a Roadrunner, built on a Volare chassis. But there probably are some applications for it. Don't be trying to sidestep the question. Just answer the question. Are they going to make it? What about California cars? They needed to be before 76, didn't they?
Well, there was some certification, like downdraft, PVC, or PCBs, and other small things, and they stepped it up. And then 76 was the EPA, across the country, catalytic converters and EGR and all that. So the answer would be, yeah, we're working towards getting there.
Got it.
Well, we have to work with California Air Resource Board.
Oh, I'm sure.
Do the proper steps, make sure we document everything, do all the testing. But yeah, I mean, we're not stopping. You know, we want to keep going forward, deliver products that everybody can use.
Very happy to work with you if you need any help on
Absolutely.
that. I think that'd be a great thing because there are a lot of folks that probably would like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Quick answer from each of you. We'll start with you, Ron. Has there ever been a non-Mopar car you fell in love with? What was it?
A non-Mopar car.
Non-Mopar.
Wow, you know, when I was in high school, there was a guy that had a Chevelle that I thought was a pretty cool looking car.
Chevelle Cal Induction
I'm
Super
sorry, did you
Sport.
say Chevelle?
Cal Induction Super. Yeah,
Sport.
let me finish. It turned out that this guy, he was in high school with me. It turns out this guy had
I'm walking, Christine.
Like a bow tie?
this guy had the worst attitude I had ever encountered up to that point at the age of 16. From that point on, I became a devout Mopar enthusiast.
Dave.
Favorite non-Mopar car? Oh man, there's a bunch of them out there. I'd
How
probably
about-
have to.
What's your favorite Mopar car?
Oh, it's probably 68 Cornet. Yeah, RT. I would probably be non-Mopar 67, probably Mustang, Shelby, Fastback, GT. The Eleanor car from Gone in 67. That's a cool car.
Non-Mopar and Mopar.
Yeah, wait for this, folks.
Here we go.
Non-Mopar's got to be a 64 Impala.
Yeah.
By far.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Mopar,
70 CUDA.
70 CUDA.
Can we go back to the 64
Okay.
Impala for a second?
Uh-oh, here we go.
What's up?
What do you mean,
going
what's
on?
up?
What's happening?
I just like those cars.
64 Impala?
Yeah.
Yeah. Four-door?
No, two-door.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just checking. Sure.
Yeah.
Any particular color?
What's that?
A lot of metal flake?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of big metal flake.
Absolutely.
Kind of a root beer brown color.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Maybe a gold.
Is this,
Will
in, your,
was
is this in your
spoiled.
garage at home?
No, it's not. It's not.
Will was spoiled. When he was 1 year old, he
I
had a
wasn't
Yamaha
spoiled. I'm not
minibike.
even-
2 years old, a YZ150.
I was
There's picture-
I was
He's what we
6.
called a spooner. Spoon fed.
I'm sorry, my
Oh my
parents
God.
weren't deceased. And they
It's
were
okay.
around for me.
It's okay. It's
But-
not their fault.
But I think I think he's a pretty good
Oh, yeah, there's still
Mopar
a
guy.
GYC tattoo.
Yeah, the token tattoo on his arm. Okay.
Alyssa, besides the Pinto, what was your favorite non-Mopar car?
She didn't even know
I'm
what a
not
pin was.
allowed to have a favorite non-Mopar car.
Okay.
So I happen to will, so
Okay, how about Mopar?
I would have to go with a 70 CUDA or a 71 Challenger.
Nice. Or a Demon. Not bad.
Not bad.
The Dodge Demon is an A-body. It's a smaller car. You're familiar with them? Okay. We have 3 of them there. One Mr. Norm's 346 barrel 4-speed car. So
We do.
what happened?
And you, sir.
We do have 3 separate.
Favorite? Well, technically it's Mopar because it was purchased by Mopar, but AMC. They have a lot. AMCs have a lot of influence of Mopar in them. If you look at them, my favorite is a '69 Rambler Scrambler. Anybody know what those are?
A Rambler Scrambler.
394 speed with the 354 Dana in it. Yeah, that was a rock and roll car. I built one of those many years ago. I actually traded that, a 71 AMX I built, and a 70 Charger I built, and $20,000 for a Superbird that looked like that one, but it was an original 19,000 mile 440 car. So, yes. Sorry.
Okay.
Long-winded answer.
I think I'm walking down here because Christine says I have to walk more. It's for my health.
We saw him run the other night, folks.
Yeah, you were chasing me with a car. What
Yeah,
was
no
I thought
brakes
you were
on
going to
the
run me
Superbird.
over. Jeffrey Nelson on Facebook. What is the name of that color of the Superbird? I want to paint my Challenger that color. I love it.
I believe that's a sublime green.
Oh my God! Dodge started building a Superbird.
That's what it says on the label when it comes from the paint store.
It's a Plymouth.
Same thing.
Does anybody know what the FJ5 green color on our Superbird? Man in the front says Limelight.
That's not what it says on the can.
Sublime would be the color of one if it were a Dodge product.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
Well, it says it on
You're
the
new to
can.
this. I'm sure the 64 Impala came out in that
What?
shade. Got more questions?
Hey, I'm going to go with, this is from Brian Roberts on Facebook. What do you think about the resurgence of the muscle car battle in the car industry? And that goes down the line there.
Ron?
Say it again. Resurgent of what?
The
Muscle cars. Modern day
Resurgent.
muscle car
Oh.
challenge.
How
Us against
awesome.
them against us.
How
We're all
awesome
building
is
muscle.
this? Absolutely awesome. You know, and it's so cool that you guys are making all these incredible parts as well for us to retrofit everything with. So everybody's loving these new Hemis, and you know, the option to put 6-speed trannies and better suspensions under these cars, and take your 1970 car and turn it into a brand spanking new one. You know, it's really cool, extremely cool.
They go fast, but they also stop now.
Heaven forbid. Yeah, handle good,
That is true.
stop good. Yeah, we want to do it all.
And that's why I was running, because I didn't know if you would be able to stop.
Yeah, no doubt.
Dave, what do you think? Nice to see that world coming back like we never thought would.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's great to see Mopar's back on top. As far as the manufacturers go, when they came out with that Demon, I mean, it's amazing. You know, where else can you buy a production car with the front wheels off the ground whenever you run it down a quarter-mile drag strip or whatnot, you know? So like you were saying, Bill, with the stop, and you got all this traction control, you got so much crazy stuff, but you got 800 horsepower, you know, on these Demons, and you can get 20 miles per gallon, you know, and drive it around town. I mean, that's what's amazing about these new cars. But I just love the fact that, you know, all the different manufacturers are back to battling like they were back in the 60s and 70s, but it's awesome to see that Dodge is pulling through and making the fastest production car out there. So it's just like old times.
Yeah.
Will, same question to you.
I love it, boss. Thank you.
Good answer.
No,
keep it short. What do you love about
I
it?
paused.
You remember that?
No, I'm just saying with the Mopars, and Ford did it with the Mustangs and the Camaros, and they all keep trying to outdo each other.
Yeah. I don't know what those other Brand X. Will wasn't around, unfortunately, during these days, but those of you who are my age, perhaps, or
Are
a
you
little
skipping
older,
Alyssa?
remember the whole muscle car.
Are you skipping?
What'd you say?
Are you skipping Alyssa?
No, I was going to feed Alyssa a line. Oh, please. I hate to upstage her. Alyssa, what do you think about the muscle car era coming back strong?
No, go on what you're saying.
No,
She needs to get closer to the
I insist.
I
might
want my
have forgot.
fancy boots.
Okay.
You them boots?
The muscle car shootout really started happening in the late 60s, as you remember, right? I mean, that's when GTO and Mustang, Chevelles, LS6s, Boss 429s, Hemis, I mean, it was everywhere. They even made songs about it, which they don't anymore. Anybody remember any good songs? Little GTO, SS 396. Anyway, in 72, the gas embargo happened. Prices for fuel went through the roof. Kids were getting killed and maimed in these high horsepower, no stopping, no steering muscle cars. So that was kind of the decline of it. You know, it was mostly graphics after that and design. So I thought it was dead along with the era, but it isn't. A few years ago, they started coming back, and it's right back to where it left off in the early 70s. It's who can top who. And I believe right now, if I may be misunderstanding, that the Dodge Demon may be holding that position as top dog.
Where can you see one of those cars?
The Dodge Demon. Dodge is going to give me one for free. No. There's a Dodge Demon right here, folks, so check it out. That's an amazing car. Awesome. I cannot wait. I spent a little time on it the other day. I didn't have a whole lot, but to imagine that a manufacturer is coming up with a car that's designed purely to drag race. That's it. That's what it's for. That's pretty cool.
Now I get to ask a little technical question. It's a little tongue-in-cheek, but I'm going to go over here to the fab guy and the wrench turner guys. Ron will get a kick out of this one. So Justin Jackson on Twitter asks, think I can fit a Hellcat in my Civic?
Absolutely.
You can make anything.
I can make anything happen. We have put some ridiculous engines in cars over the years. 427 side oilers in the front of Panteras, and just ridiculous things. So, yeah, we're actually in the midst of making a universal suspension to be able to adapt Hemis into a wider variety of vehicles, which could go beyond Mopars. So you put a Mopar engine in virtually anything. That's where we're going.
Nice. It's a whole new world, right?
Oh, yeah.
Great engines.
Yeah. And I think Dave can wire it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, at a level of complexity, right? You know, I was talking to Will earlier today, and he said, you know, Dave sets these goals. He said, first I'm just going to get the engine in there. And he made it fit.
Yeah,
and then,
these guys made it fit, actually. Yeah.
And then for the ancillary components, so I remember, you know, when I had to do the parts order, it was about 2 pages long on a Excel spreadsheet, right, of all these parts for the cooling modules and everything, right? So underneath the nose cone, what's tucked up under there besides the headlights?
Yeah, underneath that nose cone, we have that cooler system for that supercharger. That supercharger is so unique; it has its own cooling system. So I actually have it has a 12-volt pump that runs, and it comes with a separate harness. So I actually mounted a 12-volt pump up in the front left fender, right behind like where the headlight would normally be on that 70 Cornet fender. Then I had to run the lines all the way through the front fender to the front of the radiator. Use the factory Mopar core, the heater core that they use for cooling that, then back through into that system. So it's really a cool setup, but that's what's tucked up underneath that nose. So yeah, it's nice having the Superbird for that, but in other applications, I think you can make it fit just as well. So.
Are you okay? Is that a seizure?
No, I didn't have a seizure. That's one of my newer moves. A little Michael Jackson
I think you
there.
might need a little more practice on that one, Dad.
She's scared to dance in front of people. She doesn't have that rhythm like I got.
Yeah.
Did I miss it?
Natural rhythm. What happened?
Hey, hi.
You having a seizure there? Yeah. You all right?
Yeah. Hey, first of all, where's Lynn and Bernie? Hi, everybody wave at Lynn and Bernie. Say thanks for helping get this all set up.
Hi, Bernie.
Hi, Lynn.
Thank you. You're the best.
You're the best.
The best. What about Christine? She worked hard.
Hi, Christine.
Why Christine can't have some love? Christine,
yeah.
in the house.
Good job.
Hey, and all the Mopar folks that are here making this happen, thank you very much. Who wants to meet the cast of Graveyard Cars?
I'm going to go sit in that demon.
So if you guys give us just a minute, we're going to move these tables down here. We're going to funnel you guys around here and give you the opportunity to come through and meet them. So give us just a moment, and we'll get you the opportunity to meet them in person. Hey, thanks for being here, folks.
We're doing pictures too, so just take your time, wait in line. You probably don't care about theirs, but yeah, I'll be down here.